Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, 1996. The exterior of the Hamilton plant has undergone a facelift, and the interior has undergone one of the biggest transformations of technology in Case IH history. Finally, the experts who build planters and tillage equipment are under one roof, pulling together to provide unparalleled performance in manufacturing quality and workmanship. Since January of 1995, the Hamilton plant has been building the new 955 series planters. The assembly line was installed and made ready to produce this updated cyclo-air with a new concept in mind: complete assembly and testing in plant. Now the dealer and ultimately the customer receives his planter checked by not only one inspection, but many. Several sub-assembly stations are located throughout the factory to build, fabricate, and assemble the components which make up the 955 planter. The toolbar fabrication is first. Hamilton is known for its excellence in welding. Both by the hands of skilled craftsmen and the precise repetitiveness of the robot, each toolbar is set up according to the engineer's specifications and welded for lasting toughness. Each component attached to the toolbar is checked by the welder for position and accuracy of the weld. The superior craftsmanship that goes into each and every toolbar shows the level of quality that is maintained at Hamilton. Each toolbar is cleaned, painted, and is moved to the assembly area of the plant. In many cases, teams of assemblymen work together to get the job done. This team bolts the parallel linkage on the toolbar. The men work as a unit, each knowing they, individually, are part of the whole team that puts their industrial might into everything they build. High-speed air wrenches are used to secure each row unit linkage to the toolbar. A special jig is used to maintain exact row unit spacing. Now, let's move on to another portion of the plant where the air system and seed tanks are being built. Here, a special press is used to assemble the fan bracket and drive assembly. Precision components are used due to the stress and strain placed on the fan unit. Since this area of the 955 works continuously during planting, its reliability is assured by testing each and every subassembly prior to its being mated to the seed tank. Specialized hydraulic power plants were built to supply the hydraulic motor in the fan with sufficient pressure to bring it up to speed for testing. Once the unit is run and found to work properly, it can then go on to be assembled to a planter. Another testing point is near the seed tank subassembly area. A full run-up test is performed here with another specialized hydraulic power plant. Once the hoses are connected and the power plant turned on, the technician checks the air gauge on the unit to verify its holding pressure to specification. These are very important tests and are conducted on the assembly line for one really important reason. If anything is found to be inconsistent, the condition can be remedied here on the line prior to its moving through the plant. Each subassembly team can then check off their work and pass their craftsmanship on to their fellow workers. In this part of the plant, assembly technicians put together the row units. These are the finest in the industry, offering zero indexing. This consistency in manufacturing is maintained so that when the farmer sets one row unit to the desired planting depth, he can rest assured the other units will achieve the same depth by duplicating the setting on the rest of the row units. Special computer-controlled assembly equipment is used to maintain a precise torque rating on all fasteners used during the building process. This technician uses this sophisticated equipment to maintain exact tolerances during the construction of the row units. The row units, when assembled, are inspected for completeness and quality. Each technician checks his work and the previous man's work as the units are completed. Multi-million-dollar investments have gone into Hamilton to assure this quality. For example, once the row units are mated to the toolbar, a space-aged air pallet is used to move the planter through the rest of the plant. The planter actually rides on a cushion of air, making it easy for the technicians to move the assembly. This is the newly designed final test area. All cyclo-air planters must pass these men's inspection before leaving Hamilton. Everything is checked for completeness, finish, and operation. Another specialized hydraulic power plant was designed to dynamically test the air system. Each tolerance is checked to ensure proper seed drum operation. The electrical system, including turn signals and running lights, are checked. And if equipped with an early riser monitoring system, each row unit sensor is verified to be in proper working order. These specialized technicians report their finding on a checklist that is sent with the planter. Now, each planter has a history from its initial buildup all the way through final test. Even the handling during shipment of these units has been improved. The planters continue their journey on the air pallet to a specialized conveyor system. This conveyor mates with the pallet and guides it smoothly and effortlessly to an awaiting truck. Specially trained forklift drivers pick the planter off the end of the conveyor and place it on the trucks that haul it to your dealership. The real test or measure of success that Hamilton is achieving rests on your evaluations. We were able to talk to 2 dealers in the Midwest and got their first-hand opinions of what they thought. A new 955 SRC was delivered the day we talked to Jim Campbell of Berkey's Farm Store in Oakland, Illinois. After just a short time, he said this about the new planter.
I guess I would have to say when I first walked over here to watch the loading crew unload the planter, I was impressed not only with the cleanliness of what the unit looked like, but I was truly amazed at the paint quality on the seed box assemblies. I guess we have only had one other in here for show. This is my first unit we've sold. I knew they were pretty well assembled, but I am very elated at the way the unit looks. It's very clean. I even questioned the driver if he stopped and waxed it before he pulled in here. This unit here, I'm hoping very little detail time is going to be needed. Just a quick wash and wax, and looks to me like setup, cleanup, and everything is going to be tremendous on this unit.
The Berkey Farm Store has a central location where many of their implements are set up. Bobby Taylor of the Gibson City store is one of the setup technicians. He had this to say.
It's looked real good. I haven't found any place where it's really been skinned up. Well, you can look at it. I haven't done any touching up on it. Just the way it come off the truck is right here, and it's not been touched up. And they've done a real good job of tying it down, and it's not skinned up. It seems like everything is all where it's supposed to be. Well, I looked at their settings, and I got our swing gauge and put it on, and it pretty much matches exactly to what they say. I didn't have to move nothing. Everything was just where it should be.
That's a pretty good endorsement of what this dealership is seeing so far from the Hamilton plant. We then traveled to Kansas, where we met with Ted Bruna of Bruna Implement in Washington, Kansas, and asked him what his impressions have been so far.
The planters a year ago, again, they were learning, I think Case IH is a company, on what to do on the setup of the pre-setup planters. And if you had any experience with them in 95, it's 10 times better in 96. I mean, they've come a long way. We're probably a month ahead of schedule on deliveries of these row crop planters because the attachments come in with the planter on the planter, and other years we had the planters and we're waiting for the attachments to come from different vendors, and we just, by the time you got everything in where you could complete a planter, it was a month and a half from now. So that's really helped a lot. I mean, we're way ahead of schedule on deliveries for 96. the setup crew here, they're real tickled this year because the planters don't take near the time they did. Again, we're in an area where we sell a lot of plain planters and we sell a lot of fertilizer planters, and the fertilizer planters we sell are primarily liquids. So we order the planters in, half of them plain, half of them liquid, and it seems to work out. We have a few dry yet, but not so many. So we're getting down to where a lot of the farmers in this area are either buying them one of two ways, which helps a lot again when they come in set up.
We asked John Wallenberg, the setup technician at Bruna Implement, what he thought of the 955 planters he's worked on this year.
The biggest difference is it's being shipped complete. I can actually take a planter once it comes in, complete it for the customer, so I'm not sitting around waiting on completing packages, which may be 2 months later than the actual planter. So actually when one comes in, I can do the final checks, get it out to the customer, and we're both happy. It saves me a lot of time. On my setup time is cut in less than half. I got to go through all the checks, pre-delivery checks, of course, which is standard, but as far as actually setting up a planter, especially on a 6-row, all I have to do is go through the checks, and it's basically set up.
There have been major strides made at Hamilton. The early reviews have been positive. Continuous improvements in overall quality is important. The competition in the planter industry is growing. Although the Cyclo-Air planter line enjoys a well-respected tradition, the on-time delivery of product to your dealership is always the goal for the Hamilton plant. The less time you need to set up a planter, the more profit you make on the sale. Hamilton is continuing to strive toward this goal. Let us know what you think. We're listening.